Good evening, dear children. Welcome to this session on the Tiger King. As promised, dear children, Tiger King is the second story of your Vistas, and we are going to discuss it today because I have told you earlier that your Vistas is your supplementary reader, and in supplementary reader, we don't go through line by line explanation. The students are supposed to read and the teacher is supposed to discuss the questions in the class. Okay? So last time, yesterday only, I've shared a link of the quiz related to what I have participated. If not, I'm again for the revision. Okay, let's first of all read about the because the students are joining. Everybody join. So the children you see here on the web stamp, India stamp, and here you see the image of Kalki, the writer of Tiger King. You can understand how eminent writer is Kalki. That he got us on stamp, his picture on the stamp. So let's study Kalki, who he was. So Ramaswamy Krishnamurthy, better known by his name Kalki, was an Indian writer, journalist, poet, critic, and Indian independence activist. He was named after the 10th and last avatar of the Hindu god Vishnu. His writings include over 120 stories, 10 novellas, 5 novels, 3 historical romances, editorial political writings, and hundreds of and music reviews. So see, such a great range, such a wide range to Yan Ra. So the main thing to be noticed here is that he was Indian independence activist. This is very important to understand. Okay, move ahead. Yes. So what you are going to learn today? Okay. So by the end of this lesson, you will be able to summarize the story in a gap filling exercise. I will be sharing the link with you. You will be able to recall the important points of the story through a questionnaire, fill in, inference to the content, reference to the context, and MCQ quiz. You will also be able to write a sketch of Tiger King using the help of the characterization technique you are familiar with, and you will infer meaning of some important statements in the story, and you will by writing a short on them, and you will also justify the title. And there are some figure of speech like irony, so you are going to that. So here come the representation of the series. So you are going to acquire by reading, watching, and listening. Okay, you are going to investigate, discuss, practice, and produce. So let us have the introduction of the story. So Kalki takes his readers as autocratic, eccentric kings. Autocratic, you know who are autocratic? Hitler, okay, tyrant. So he takes his readers to the day of autocratic and eccentric king. Who don't eccentric means like who are not well balanced, too easy to understand. Okay, cranky sort of. And these kings lived under the thumb rule of Britishers. Hence, they feared them. And in order to make the story mysterious, Kalki has a supernatural element in the story. The hot king disapproved the prophecy made by the astrologer about his death, but his death from the wooden tiger, who was the 100th tiger, approved it. I'm not disclosing this because you went to read the story before attending. This is a very important point that I will discuss later. Setting. So let us come to the setting of the story. As you have studied in the introduction, that British ruled India. The setting is British ruled India when the Indian kings were puppets in the hands of Britishers and tried their level best to please British officers. They soon donned their titles given by the Britishers and pleased with their loyalty. English lifestyle was the fashion of the day. So this was the background. Now you understand. So once again, I'm sharing the link of the with you for you to easily understand vocabulary story. And I will be with the flashcard. Something new. I'm loving it. So let us start with vocabulary, and you have the link of the quiz on the same vocabulary item to play. If not, you may hear. Brandishing. So it moved fast. Brandishing means moving and waving. Very cautious and watchful. Rife, widespread, which is everywhere. Every, like you can say, corona is rife these days. Widespread. Harakiri, very, very important because this term is in your story and children really find it difficult to understand. Harakiri is an act of self-killing by cutting one's stomach with a sword. The killing was especially performed by samurai, forming the military class in Japan, as an honorable way of escape disgrace. Okay? Durai or Durai is honey. So, it's a male name, Durai is a female name. So, this is for god or goddess in Tamil. And in the story, Durai and Durai refer to British lord and the wife of the British officer. Okay? Quills means spines. Okay, you have not spines. You have the spike hairstyle. The boys they're having all those standing head. So quills are so brandishing, dancing or waving. Haul. Haul means to pull with a lot effort. Means pulling something with a great effort. Drawled. It means speaking slowly. He spoke slowly. Enunciated means said or pronounced, saying something. Okay. Crumbled in an uncontrolled way, like I'm dead also. And when you fall all of a sudden without any control, that is crumpled. fever pitch, a very high level of excitement. Silver, very important. Silver is not that metal story. Silver here means story, the thin narrow piece of something cut or broken off from a larger piece. Okay? Imperative, vital, very necessary. Shoved, pushed in a rough manner. Will, talk in a confused or silly. Bafflement. Bafflement means complete confusion. Indomitable. Yes, there's something cannot be suppressed or defeated. We use this word will, the will which is not there to be suppressed or defeated. Stupefaction, surprise, shocked, rating means pus oozing. So now we are done with the vocabulary. Yes, one thing remained, one second, incoherent, not clear and hard to understand. Okay, so now we are done with all 20 quiz items in this story. Okay. So, dear children, Tiger King, this story from your Vistas. So, we are going to discuss the questions. We are not going to have line explanation. So, let's start discussing. Was Tiger King? So, who was Tiger King? So, Tiger King was here in this text. He was Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram. Okay, so this is very clear that he was Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram with so many titles. Before going to the question, I would like to discuss something about these titles. So he is identified as His Highness Jamidar. He is HS capital, the position of the king. His Highness Jamidar General, Khilyada Major, Sata Vyagri Mahari, Maharaja Dhiraj, Vishwabhuvana Samrat, Sir Jilani Jung Jung Bahadur, MD ACTC or CRCK. His name was often shortened to Tiger King. In different from all titles, we have read in the background. What was the background? This was set in the time of British rule, when the Indian kings were puppets in the hands of the Britishers, and they were very happy. Happy at what? They were very happy when given any of the titles by the British government for their loyalty. Okay, fine. To the second. How did the king of Pratibandhapuram come to be known as the Tiger King? So he to know about what we say, because of the woe, strange woe he has taken. What woe he has taken? He in the woe to hunt tigers in all his life, and he started actually killing. Okay, and that's why he was called as Tiger. people started calling him Tiger King. Tiger King, not the one, the king is a tiger. Tiger was the king of some state. King is the king who has vowed to kill the tigers. Now let us move to next group. What astonishing, sorry, yeah, okay. What astonishing thing happened at the time of his birth? Okay. So what astonishing things happened at the time of his birth? So this was here. At the time of his birth, yes, what extraordinary thing happened? Or sometimes question is that what improbable thing happened? Okay, so what are improbable, which are very difficult to believe, hard to believe, which is not real? So what was that? So that was, here we see that as soon as the astrologers announced or informing the queen, they prophesied about the future of Tiger King, that he will be killed by a tiger and die soon. Only a 10-day-old Rani Jung Bahadur started speaking. He addressed the people, the astrologers, wise prophets, and whenever he was surprised, shocked, he further said, "I who spoke." And then, not only he spoke, he asked intelligent questions. He told them, all who are born, they have to die. We want predictions to know that. There's some sense in it. If you could tell us the manner of that death, how do you get it? The 10-year-old mere infant spoke, not only spoke, confirmed that yes, he is speaking, and not only confirmed that, rather asked intelligent questions, asking about the manner of his death, and not only asked the intelligent question, but also after the prophecy, he declared that tigers beware. Okay, so this was the astonishing thing, because 10-day-old child, infant, not even child, infant, can speak? Probably not. But yes, he did. This was the astonishing thing. Okay, so this is clear. Next question is, what predictions did the astrologer make at the birth of the king? So the predictions made by the astrologers were, in this story you get the answer, but the answer to the question, they are scattered all over your story. So you have to be very sure where your answer is. So I have the previous question you have seen, I have selected from here and there. So that's why I asked you to read the story first of all, because you have to look for your answer in the text. Okay. So now see here. Second question, what was the prophecy? And we see here prophecy. So the prophecy was, the child grew up to become the warrior of warriors, hero of heroes, champion of champions. But and after that, just to add some more confusion, they stop. They stop talking. Okay? To alert their lips and say further. This is a seat. It should not be. On this comment, the 10 days old infant spoke, O wise prophet, tell me the manner. Everyone who is born will die. So there was a prophecy that this child will grow up to become the warrior, hero of the heroes, champion of champions, but the child under the star will die. So was this a prophecy? Not clear. Everyone who is born is die. But further explained that because it was born in the hour of bull, the bull and the tiger are enemies, their death comes from the tiger. Meaning to say was that although the prince, the crown prince, will grow up to become the warrior, hero of the heroes, champion of the champions, but because he is on the hour of bull and then tigers are enemies, so he will be, his death will come from the tigers and not but further explained by the 100th child. Okay. So he said that here further it was explained that the 100th child will be the reason of his death. That was the prophecy. Okay. So see, you have to pick all the tidbits from read, listen, and you have to pick them one place. So now final answer. What we see, the prophecy was the king will be of water, will be what we say. Here it is. Let me take you to that part because then it will be easy for you to understand. Yes, the child will become the become warriors, hero of heroes, champion of champions. But because he is born in the hour of bull and tiger, he is 100th child. Okay, so his death will come from 100th here. Okay, clear prophecy. What did how did the crown prince react to the we have already discussed in the as things happened that he asked, he spoke a 10 days old infant, not only spoke, asked intelligent question, not only asked intelligent question, but also responded, declared something. Okay. Next question. What was the rumor rife in Pratibandha? Now we have studied this word rife. Rife means. So what was the rumor rife in Pratibandhapuram? The rumor rife in Pratibandhapuram that a 10-day-old infant spoke, not only spoke, asked intelligent questions, also declared his future action. Remember, it doesn't talk about king, it doesn't talk about the prince, it's about the crown prince. The crown prince as infant. So we alert about in the story in the question. What is the question? Okay. So if you then how he took the prophecy, he started killing. It says crown prince. So don't get confused. So in life also we have text. Why did the astrologer put finger on his nose, or why did the astrologer take off his spectacles? Both of these questions are have the same answer. Why the same answer? Putting finger on the nose or taking off the spectacles. Both This that somebody has gone into thinking. Somebody is shocked, somebody is surprised, somebody wishes to know more about this day. When you think, you take spectacles off. Okay, it is. This is very important exam, and then you get confused. Mine is. So here you see the chief is to law is the finger on his nose. Okay, and here the face to law took off his spectacles. Why? Because a baby, an infant, when a days old, opened its in speech. Not only that, it also intelligent question, and this was incredible, difficult to believe. Okay, so you got both of these questions. Before to the next question, let me tell you to reflection because this may come in your 6 marks about this which we have done. The first is Tiger King is over. That what made one thing is in you people get confused. By writer also is creating saying okay that even if there are threats, many threats, even like the threat of a bomber, I'm not going to stop to tell the story of the Tiger King. Bomber, why this has been mentioned here? Dear children, in World War II, Stuka bombers, they were very infamous. They were actually the Hitler's ultimate terror weapon. These Stuka bombers were actually Hitler's Hitler's ultimate terror weapons. Okay, which Hitler used, and these bombers they were very infamous for howling, their vertical attacks on warships, battlefield targets, and defenseless civilian commands, like merciless birds of prey, without any feeling, without emotion. So now you got the reference of Stuka bomber is the World War II used by Hitler. They were what we say. They were actually terror weapons. Okay, these Stuka bomber, a terror weapon like Stuka bomber will also stop me from telling the story of Tiger King. Dear children, one more question arises. This is the hot question. One more question is that why these uh, like astrologers were predicting or giving stupid prophecy that he will be killed by the 100th. If he doesn't kill the one tiger, then how the 100th tiger will kill him? Or stupid. And people are believing it. Then there is a rumor rife. Then incredible that the 10-year-old child spoke 10 year, not 10 days before. Okay. So these were really at that time it was a time of uncertainty because the Indian kings and queens were simply the puppets in the hands of the British. And everybody in the kingdom was in saving their position. Okay. So yesterday when the king would have thought thing, if this idea have come to the head of the king that astrologers are no longer needed, they would have lost their jobs. So just keep themselves in job. They they go to they took the help of this flattery. The kingdom wearer of the bearer, king of the king, heroes of the hero. This all flattery. And then again, is old infant speaking. There is no truth in it at all. It was again just a rumor and spread just to be in the books of the kings and queens. Are you getting? So you can have the idea. See, this is a very simple story. If you say it's a very plain saying, humor, but dear, the humor is only the evident current of the story, which is very clear. And come to know it as humor, but underlying there is a very serious tone of the India time under British rule. So how the kings behaved. The kings were not omnipotent. They don't have all the power. They were only the puppets in the hands of the British. And just to save their fake dignity, I think just to save their fake dignity, they were doing all these stupid things. Okay? Now, I think this clear. Just move ahead. In what way was the Prince Jang Bahar brought up, or this second was the Prince brought up? So see here in the second part beginning. Yeah. So the King Bahar, King Prince Jang Bahar grew taller, stronger day by day. Nikhil marked his childhood days apart from the event already described. But how, the question says how he was brought up. So boy, he drank the milk of an English cow, was brought up by an English nanny, tutored in English by an Englishman, so nothing but English films exactly as the conference of the other instated. Humorous but serious. See how beautifully he says that this king, Bahadur, he was brought up in an English environment. He was in India, but milk, what is the difference in the milk of an Indian cow and the milk of an English cow? But he drank the milk of an English cow. Vanity, brought up by an English nanny, tutored in English by Englishmen. So nothing but English friends. Everything English. And in the manner same as the other crown princes and all other Indian states did. In one short sentence, he explained the condition of India at that time. So all the Indian kings and the princes, they all just under the impact of Britishers. Okay, and they love to do the things like Englishmen. So very serious note. Next, and then what happened? When he came to the age of 20, he became the king. Okay, next. Which matter of the Tiger King is of extraordinary interest? So after becoming the king, the extraordinary interest of the Maharaja was in just work on the astrology. Okay. So what astrologer's prediction that 100th tiger will be reason of his death. And so he vowed to start killing tigers. So before that, after being the king, he called the astrologers about he killed one tiger, and after killing the tiger, he called the astrologer and showed them that they'd be saying, okay, fine. You were saying that the tiger will be the reason for my death. I have killed the tiger. To this, to save his position, he said, "Okay, you have to be very careful with the 100th tiger." Okay. So, what was the matter of extraordinary interest? The prophecy of the astrologer. He acting upon that, he killed one tiger and showed the astrologer. Further, he got the instruction to be beware of with tiger. Okay, next. I shall cut my tongue and become an insurance agent. Who said these words and why? Or second question, I have given color code. If the answer is almost the same, why did the astrologer offer to become an insurance agent? So when the king said, when he said that it will be 100th tiger, then the king said 100 tiger also. So when the king him challenged the astrologer, saying that if he killed 100 tiger, then what does astrologer do? So to safeguard to say it to safeguard his position and also to simply stick on the stupid prophecy he declared earlier, he said that he will tear up all books on astrology, set fire to them, and will cut off his and will cut his short and become an insurance agent. So, okay, why he is saying this? He is saying this just to make the king understand that he is very much sure that this will never happen. What will never happen? The tiger will kill 100 tiger. Okay? To assure the king that his prophecy is absolutely correct. Okay? So, so who is? He is the chief astrologer. Why? Because he was simply confirming the king that his astrology cannot be proved wrong, and if it is proved wrong, leave his job as an astrologer and will become an insurance. Next point. What led to Maharaja out on Tiger Hunt? We know the answer. On what pretext did the Maharaja begin killing the tigers? Pretext is very important. When the pretext comes, you start writing prophecy. So prophecy was not the pretext, dear children. The pretext was here. You see here. The Maharaja said he quoted the holy scriptures. What is written in holy scriptures? That you may kill even a cow in self-defense. This is written in the holy scripture. Nobody can deny it. It is written that you can even kill a cow in self-defense. Okay. And he said then if a gentle animal, a simple animal like cow, killed in self-defense according to scriptures, then killing in self-defense is not a crime, not a wrong thing. Are you getting? See, dear children, the people are very smart. They simply quote the scriptures just to fulfill their desires. So, what was the sinister desire of Maharaja? Killing tigers. Save his life for 100th tiger. How stupid. And to complete this act, in order to what we say reason to this decision of justify his action, he quoted the scriptures that even a cow may be killed in self-defense. A cow, which is a very gentle animal, very simple, and very innocent animal, can be killed in defense. Then there is no harm in self-defense. So this is the pretext. So don't get confused on this pretext come. Next. Okay, next. Next question is, how Maharaja devote himself to realize his ambition. So what he did to realize his ambition, he devoted. So before going to anything, you must remember here. This is. He vowed that he will at all other matters only after killing the 100th tiger. Okay. So, how did Maharaja devote himself to realize his mission? He said that he will attend all important matters, all matters only after killing 100 tigers. Meaning to say, he devoted himself totally only to one cause, and the killing or completing the tally of 100 tigers. Okay. Now here you see again the underlying current. This was the apparent current underlying. What is the underlying idea? So the underlying idea is the king, full of energy. What was his duty as a king? His duty as a king was to take care of his subjects. His duty was to take care of all his duties, all his responsibilities as a king. But instead of doing that, he put all the thing aside and thought of doing only one thing, and that is killing 100 tigers. What measures did the Maharaja take to kill the tigers for himself? So yes, okay, he got the assurance from the astrologer that his prophecy is true. He decided that he will look after all the matters later on. Now, killing 100 tigers is not a child play. Okay. So, what did he plan? So, this is the plan number one. Okay. He announced that nobody will be able to. The first step was that he announced he got this information announced that nobody will the tiger. Okay, here it is. So he banned tiger hunting by anyone. Means nobody in his state would kill tiger except him. And this was proclaimed And what was the proclamation? The proclamation was that if anybody tried to killing the tiger is very far off thing. But even if somebody didn't on not at the action of the tiger, his property and wealth will be confiscated, will be taken up by the state. So this was his first step that he banned tiger killing in his state. To the extent that nobody was even allowed to throw a stick in the direction of a tiger, not at the tiger, in the direction of a tiger. This was the first step. Second, second step, by this he killed 70 tigers. Then he couldn't find more tigers in his. Okay, so then what happened? He thought of marrying a girl, but marrying somebody was not on the because of the girl was beautiful or because the girl was belonged to a good state, but girl who has the maximum tiger population in her state. Girl means the princess. Okay, so he married the, 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 the princess who had the maximum number of tigers in her state. And every time, whenever he went to meet his father-in-law, he killed tigers there. And in this manner, he killed 99 tigers. Okay, still one was remaining, and this was the most difficult tiger according to the prophecy. So, last tiger, in order to find the last tiger, we found that in some places the sheep were extincting, and maybe of a tiger dared that he will he freed the people of that village from paying tax. Okay. So the moment he came to know that there is a tiger in some village, so he relaxed. He gave them 3-year exemption from all taxes. Okay. He found there is no tiger. He doubled the land tax. Okay. So these were the 3 steps taken by him. Number 1, banning killing of tiger in the state, marrying a girl with the maximum number of tigers, then announcing 3-year tax exemption to the village who told the possibility of tiger in the village. Okay, so these were steps. Okay, so done. What measures did the Maharaja take to reserve the tigers for himself? The next 3 questions are very, very important, and the answer are more or less. Why was Maharaja in danger of losing his throne? Maharaja's obsession cost him his throne. How was the king to restore his kingdom? So, 3 we are going to discuss today altogether. So, when Maharaja in his state, then what happened? Nobody was allowed to die in his state. Okay. And he was so much obsessed that sometime he killed the tiger himself with his bare hands. Again, you may understand it was a rumor just to be in the good books of satire on that condition of the India. And you know, Kalki, he he was a fighter, freedom fighter, so he knows it very well. So he explains nicely too. So, because he has banned killing in his state, then what happened? A British officer came, high-ranking British, and said that he desired to kill a tiger. But the king refused, and he was very softly informed about the woe of the tiger king. Then the British officer, see the vanity of British officer even. He said, okay, fine. The king will do the actual killing. He simply want a photograph with child. The request of British officer was not entertained by the king, because this time, suppose next time if some higher officer, some officer of higher rank comes, then he will say no to him. Okay? So to this request also he said no. So what was the result? He was in danger of losing his throne. So when he got in danger of losing his throne, he, he planned for mending for it. So what he did, he sent Durai Sani, the wife officer, Durai officer, diamond rings from a British company of jewelers in Calcutta. Okay, 50 diamond rings. Diamonds are very expensive. So when these rings arrived, he sent all those 50 rings to the good lady, to thinking that she will check, she will one or two, and then she will send the rest of the lot. But what happened? She kept all the 50 rings, which cost 3 lakhs rupees to the state. Maharaja was happy. Why happy? Though he has lost 3 lakhs of rupees, but he managed to rid his kingdom. Dear children, the question come here, bribing. Is bribing good? Not at all. Was Tiger King right in bribing the British officer and his wife? No, absolutely not. Why? Because the money which he has given to in bribe, that money belonged to the subjects of Pradipadapuram, the people of Bandapuram, of their taxes. This money was to be spent for their welfare and not for that stupid act of. This was not the personal money of the king. This money was of the state, which he wasted for nothing. He was king only in the name, not in real terms. So, dear children, we have discussed. I don't think that we will be able to continue because there are still a lot of questions. We will start, we will continue with the discussion on Thursday. Fine. So till Thursday, I ask you for your permission to leave. So till then, Bye. Meet you on